Greetings, my friends. I am Gilles Mansillon. I want to come and wish you a good day. We're getting close to this great portal of the 8-8, the Lion's Gate. There is a deep, profound transformation both within and without. And as far as I know, I'm only expressing my perspective, my point of view, my vision of things. But I do see that there is a great deal of we're reaching the apex of the fight between the dark and the light. For it's like, of course, the plan of God is for the liberation of the planet cannot fail. The victory of the light is assured, and the world will be free. But for those who tell you that all is in the light already, there is the light is there is no more darkness on the planet, are really either agent of the matrix who are trying to convince you to let down your guards, or they're naive. So it is important to realize that right now there is a lot of the dark forces are really at the end of their programs, and they're ready to try anything. But there is no danger of asteroid falling into the earth or alien extraterrestrial invasion. All that is completely, it's part of the dark scenarios, just as what they might do is to reveal truth, the dark man, to reveal truth, and see how once people they gain the trust of people, they're going to conduct the narrative towards something very fearful. If there is fear, it's not the light. It doesn't come from the light. The light will never use this tool of fear. So be discerning in relationship to all that you see on the front, and there is still the world will be liberated, but there's still much suffering. There is still a lot to do in order to liberate the world. Just as there may be psychic attack, and the psychic attack are triggered they're triggering our deepest fear. When you have a trauma or deep fear that is coming up, it comes from astral beings that are nourishing themselves from your fear. So it is important to be able to move upward, to turn to compassion, gratitude, and once you return to your sense of self, your empowerment, you let go of the need to respond to those lower energies, then you're completely out of reach from those entities. But no one is exempt from the attack of lower beings, because we're shifting from the third to the fifth dimension here, and so it is something that is happening. Even the Master Thoth explained, the God of Wisdom, the Egyptian God of Wisdom, is a good friend, and was explained in the Emerald Tablet. He explains that he did the ascension 100 times. He ascended and descended 100 times. And every time he had to ascend, he had Cerberus. They were like those dogs of hell that were trying to devour his soul. That's the way he was perceiving it. So he said that he had to move with strange curve and angles in order to avoid them. A curve is a non. You don't have an opinion about something, and an angle is having a point of view. So it's about taking position on certain things, but not taking position on other things, and sometimes taking strange position just to escape the trap of the astral beings. So, but I wanted to thank you also for listening. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And thank you very much for your donations. It is it is very. We're really at the, so we really ask for those who, there's really two timelines: those who are following the programs of the dark, and so those who are escaping. So it is important that you verbalize your truth. You don't give your consentment. You don't have to go into demonstration. You just said no to those things that you do not want. That's enough to inform the universe. When there is enough people saying no to something, the negative program completely disintegrate. And we have to remember that our true self resides in the spirit realm that is beyond all dimensions. But our soul lives and works in a sub-universe of 12 dimensions, sub-universe. And right now, our lower consciousness is in the third and fourth dimension. And our soul is in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th dimension. It travels all the time. But our soul is always on a higher level than our human consciousness. And so we want to integrate those those frequency of our soul eventually, which is our true self. It's all about ascending and descending. That's the path of the way shower. We ascend, but then we descended before, and we're reascending, and then we might descend again and reascend. But every time our soul is, we are getting more confident, and we're getting more rich and more. We have more wisdom and knowledge. The soul do not regress, and some souls have started from monocellular creatures, even from mineral, and then evolved into vegetal animals. And some souls have taken the program billions of years of evolution right from the start. I don't think that is my case, but it's all very unique. And so we've been given the free will. The free will can be a problem, but we've been given the free will to choose love and unity. But there are layers and layers and layers of illusions in this third-dimensional realm. So it's important to be self-focused, to be focused on self and the unity of our consciousness. Because all the tests that we go through in 3D are determine the path of our spiritual evolutions. If we accept the lower path, self-gratification, regardless of who we hurt in the process, or accepting to be respectful to life, is to all of life, is a very different path. There is always a higher and the lower path. There is always, for like just the way it is, there is always moral and immoral choices that are made. Once we're set up into a way that's anchored, then we'll still be tested, but not as much once we've proven our sincerity. And because there is all kinds of old, outdated survival patterns that may resurface, but so we need to transmute them, to transform them by reminding ourselves the acceptation of our freedom, of our abundance, to have a compassion for ourselves and for others, to remind us of a sovereignty and divine connection. It is an act of compassion for ourselves, rather than playing out a game of victim or whatever. And so, because fear is the tool of the illusions, it's playing in the media all the time. Fear of the unknown, fear of the future, fear of others because they are different, different religion, different race or whatever. Fear of lack, fear of scarcity, all kinds of fear. They're going to play out all those fear. And that is the tool of the illusions, when the tool of love and light, the love and light dissolves all the fear. It's the unity is the tool. So, but the truth, to see only love and light, eventually we're going to see that we are only love and light, and that is our only truth, our only nature, our only identity, and we'll be able to dissolve the illusions wherever we go. Sometimes just like putting one spark of consciousness in relationship to one person is enough for him to carry or her to carry on and to find our freedom eventually. So it is important, but it's not without challenge to move with light and love into a world that is so polarized. But the brighter we are, the more shining we are, the more anchored we are in our light, and that is just a matter of being constant, not to give up, to continue to persevere no matter where we are. The more we are, the brighter we are, the more we'll be guided, the more we are protected, the more we are assisted by the higher intelligence and the realm of spirits. And because there is a network of beings all over the planet that are awakening, and there is points of light all around the world to the love and unity of their soul and spirit. For fear will attract fear, and love will attract love. Light will attract light. So fear generates fear, but love generates love. So it's important to be conscious of how we direct our consciousness, to keep an open heart and the awareness of love. I'm not talking about eros necessarily, the sentimental love, but that's very important. But the appreciation of what God gave us as an experience of life, that's called love. And one moment in the presence is so amazing, so magical. I've had a few of those moments, and I hope you do too, or you will. It's really because when you move into the one moment of presence, is blissful. It is it erases all fear, all doubt, all the past, all the future, all the judgment. It's like it's just an energy that transcends everything that we ever know. Those people who have near-death experience can tell you. It's they have been exposed to the eternal light of the Creator, the Arcturian matrix. So what we seek is to become our true self, to fuse with our I am presence, and that is our ultimate goal. And once this goal is achieved, we're going to want to return to the center, the source, the prime creator, to fuse our own light with the light, the great light, and we'll have completed our path. For our consciousness, there is many levels of consciousness, octaves of consciousness, and we grow and ascend through that. But our spirit is whole and total, and the infinite spirit never changes. It is what it is. But our spirit has different octaves. The lowest octave is the ego self that believes in the reality of the senses. And the highest octave of our ego is our God self. And there's many levels in between, identification to identity. So the return to the source is our ultimate destiny. But right now we seek to align with our divinity, our inner divinity. And there is no need to really seek out all your fear, to seek out all your mistakes, to seek out all your errors, to seek out all your traumas, all of that. Just need to come into the acceptance of peace, joy, and abundance. And whatever comes up will have to be dealt with. But don't seek out those things. You don't have to repair every mistake just to feel the freedom. And just tune into the light of your soul and the love of your spirit. And that should allow yourself to ascend through the octaves of consciousness. And we do also have to relinquish the illusions of control, to have faith, trust, hope, gratitude, and to allow God to take over, to have a lot more, to carry us more, rather than to have our ego to have to deal with all those things all the time. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I didn't think I take a song. Well, I'll sing this French song. I was going to take another one, but I forgot. It's a song about somebody who's been exiled, and finally, eventually, he's going to find the one he loves. He's going to be able to return to the one he loves, and so it kind of like resonated with me. It's a German song originally. It's called "The Walk of the Angel." Goes like this. I'm going to put a few cards before for those who do not want to stay through the song. I can understand. Pull a few cards. I thank you so very much for your support, if you can, and for liking, sharing, and commenting and subscribing. The card of the day is to be fair, to be balanced, to be just, to be justice. Is the fair, the equitable being. Is to keep things in balance as well. The higher wisdom is going far. We're preparing for life is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So just be constant, small step, but constant step. What we need to understand is an exchange of gift. We give to receive. We share. It has to be gracious. It has to be balanced. But it's always an exchange of energy in life. What we need to do is to breathe. Breathe consciously, as often as possible. And the outcome is the never-ending story. It's about letting go of all the dramas of duality, no longer being fooled by, to have enough discrimination, to no longer be fooled by the astral entities and all of the dark programs and scenarios that want to keep us separated, in conflict, in fear, or whatever they're trying to do. So I'll finish with this song. It's called La Marche des Anges. Mon cœur se trouve au bout du monde, et moi je vis au jour le jour, comptant les heures et les secondes, me séparant de ton amour. Quand on se reverra, ma vie renaîtra, et je sécherai mes pleurs. Près de toi, mon ange, près de toi, en trouvant l'oubli des jours désunis, résonnera dans nos cœurs la marche des anges. Pour voir la fin de ma souffrance, je prie le ciel de me guider vers le pays de notre enfance, où tu te meurs à m'espérer. vienne le jour de ma victoire, écrasant les années passées, où l'amour a vécu sans gloire. Vienne avec toi le temps d'aimer. Quand on se reverra, ma vie renaîtra, et je sécherai mes pleurs. Près de toi, mon ange, dans tes bras, en trouvant l'oubli, des jours désunis, résonnera dans nos cœurs la marche des anges. It's a beautiful song. It says, my heart can be found at the other side of the world, and me, I have to live day by day, counting the hours and the seconds that separate me from your love. When we will find ourselves again, my life will be reborn, and I will be able to dry my tears next to you, my angel, next to you, to be able to forget the time that we were not together, and will resonate in our hearts the works of the angels. To see the end of my suffering, I pray heaven to guide me towards the country of our childhood, where you are sad, waiting for me. When the time of my victory will come, will completely erase all the years past, where love lived without glory, and with you the time to love will come, and when we'll see each other, my life will be reborn. And so it's a very nice song. It was from a movie. I think remember from a movie. Well, my friends, I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.